Hello and welcome to In the Spotlight. I'm Lewis Warner. On tonight's show, we'll be putting questions you've raised towards the Union Officer team. So first up, we have Ellie Milsom, who studies acting and on-screen performance. Ellie?
I'd like to know why the drinks in Ember Lounge is cheaper than the ones at the Verve.
The only way I can see it being is that Verve have different drafts on than Ember. So a set beer.
See, I've had mine for like spirits. I don't drink drafts, so I think possibly.
So what it might be is drinks promotions. So say on a Friday night for Eclipse.
Yeah.
We have 90p shots of sours, and we have like certain drink deals on like spirits. So for example, vodka at an Eclipse, that's actually cheaper than what it normally would be. However, it's like in Ember on a Tuesday night, they might put on a different drink deal because it's karaoke.
So they have their own little promotion.
Yeah.
But it might just be because we do like brand supplier support. So we'll have 1 week where Captain Morgan's will come in and they're promoting their...
Yes, please.
And so everyone dresses as a pirate, but that particular spirit will be knocked off, and it'll be £1 for doubles or something maybe.
Okay. Now our next question comes from a very familiar face. Our very own Tash Crump asked this question last year when she studied music journalism and broadcasting.
No. What is
she asked
it?
this question.
The equipment and 24-hour access one, just because of the course that I do and how important it is for like the students on those courses, like where it like really affects. They need 24-hour access.
We're fighting for 24-hour access to OMG anyway, so why shouldn't the rest of the campus be like that?
Great. Can I just say, great plats, first of all.
Thank you. I did them myself.
You had a bit of a croaky voice there.
Yeah, I think that's when I was ill as well. I think I remember this now. I knew that this was, at the moment I saw that it was like we had one from Tash Crump, I was thinking, I knew it was going to be this.
Yeah, so you mentioned 24-hour access. It was really important to you then. I assume it's still really important to you now.
Yeah, so I did actually put, in my manifesto, so in my little like tick that I did on my poster, I actually did put about facility access. And that was one of my big things because as a music journalism broadcasting student, personally, I actually bought Adobe. I bought the student package for Adobe so I could just work from my laptop.
It's quite expensive.
It is quite expensive. It's like something like £15 a month or something. But I was like, I'm doing it because I need at least 5 of the programs for my course, where it's journalism and broadcasting. And it was just easier. However, I know some of those students that weren't willing to pay out, and they needed some of this extra time in some of the studios and places like that. Being in this role now, I know how difficult it is to do the whole 24-hour thing, and I've learnt that it is actually something where it's more of a, if it needs to be, if it's a need. So for example, with the music, with some of the music like labs and music studios and stuff like that, like the lecturers have actually like said we will open it around assessment period. So it's kind of like it's more of when it's needed.
So not all the time, but when it's definitely necessary for students. Now we're going to hear from Matthew Ballum Davis, who studies forensic science. Matthew.
I want to know why the gym isn't 24 hours.
Well, there we are.
I can answer
Very
this one.
short, simple, sweet question. Why isn't the gym 24 hours?
So we only have about, I think it's 9 core staff members that actually run the gym. So we obviously have the 4 sports development team, and then you have the head of the gym, and then you have the rest of the team that sits below. So with the way that our doors are, it's not something where you can't have a staff member on. You would always have to have a staff member on. It's not like Pure Gym where they have the cool little pods that you step into and a code.
Well, that's another point, because I'm a member of Pure Gym, but value for money as well. My Pure Gym membership is like £10 a month. It's really cheap, and that's open 24 hours, and some students are paying quite a lot more, and the uni gym isn't open that long.
We've actually changed the prices this year, so it is actually.
I know.
If
it's £12 a month. Isn't
it's £120 for the year if you paid at the start of the year.
Yes.
So
for some first-year students as well.
Get it in with their they don't get it free. They get it in with their accommodation.
Oh, okay. So it's all paid for within that.
Yeah. So basically, that means that technically, if you pay for the gym at the start of the year, it's £10 a month, because we are part of the uni gym partnership that Bucks have created. Where if you are a part, so Staffordshire are one of the gyms. So because you are part of the Staffordshire University gym, and you've paid the full price, you can then go and use another university gym with your card.
which is the same as what I can play at Pure Gym, but I can go to Pure Gym whenever I want.
It's not, I know it's 24 hours. The problem is if we were to, so for example, do what Pure Gym do and have the little pods and change the doors, that would probably cost about the same as just tearing down the whole sports centre and redoing it to what it is now.
Plus, Pure Gym's a bit of a trek, isn't it?
Well, that's the thing. If you don't drive, you know, the university gym's your only option.
So that's the problem. I think it would be too much of a big investment to try and actually get that, because it'll be such a huge cost to change how we go through now, basically.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for that. Our next question is from Chloe Burrows.
Hi, I'm Chloe Burrows and I'm on the Acting and Theatre Arts course, and I want to know why there aren't as many festivals and events as last year.
Now, I don't know where Chloe's been for the past year, because as you mentioned today, there were lots and lots of things, but obviously she clearly thinks that there isn't enough, or there hasn't been as many as last year.
I mean,
I don't know where the festivals have come from.
I mean,
we've never had a festival.
So it's no, because we had that, what was it called, Staff's Fest, or was it called that, or all stoked up or something?
Oh, all stoked up.
That was
that was to launch the Cadman. That was literally to launch the Cadman Square.
I mean, it's very difficult because we try and put on. We have been putting on events, plain and simple, but we're trying to put on events for different students of different interests. So we had Bullet for My Valentine do a DJ set. Now, it wasn't the most heavily attended, but I spoke to a couple of people that went to it, and they said, that's the type of music I listen to, that was the best night of my life. Now, they're not the sort of people that will go back to our other nights or our other events, but it's like we're putting on different things for different people, and we had
that variety.
Yeah, so that's what we're trying to do. So we had that Stoketoberfest for the people who, you know, it was open during the day, it was open during the night, and then we had the community open day for the families, and then obviously we've got, so later in the year I'm going to do an outdoor cinema.
And another question now from Connor Fenton, who is a media and film production student.
Hi, I'm Connor Fenton from Media Film Production, and I want to know why some foods are vegan when they shouldn't be at Verve, and why some others aren't when they should be.
So what Connor's trying to say there is that some food in Verve apparently is marked as vegan on the menu, but when he's received it, it's not actually been vegan. He's probably made this aware to the staff as well. We've actually got one of the Verve menus here. Sam's going to do some in detail reading. You know, it's a serious point.
No, I do understand.
Vegan, then it comes as not. It might just be a mistake that somebody's put something on a dish accidentally.
As an ex-vegetarian, if I had received bacon on my vegetarian burger, I'd have been a bit like, take it back.
So just as a little bit of background info, venue manager Steve Sutton for Verve, venue manager for Ember, which is Steve Thurlow, they're both vegan. So
and also Keith Quinton, who is the venue manager for Squeeze, is vegetarian.
He's vegetarian.
So literally all of our key venue managers are actually vegan or vegetarian.
So they're keen.
That's not a fallback.
So they're really keen on everything. Like
so we did talk to him. I don't know about the things being served, but this is something we'll have to investigate, because obviously if something's advertised as vegan and is coming out not, then that's not right. So
it might be a kitchen. So for example, obviously all of our staff members in our venues are student staff. So it literally just might be a mix-up or something like that. So that's something that we can explore then with our managers and making sure that the menu is being kept to.
But in terms of the vegan options and stuff, all the burgers, you can have that with a spicy bean burger, which is vegan.
Oh, you're really selling it to me.
So in actual fact, other than the ones that are surrounded by
cheese
and
bacon on top,
you can actually have almost all of them as vegan, but it's not displayed very well. So that's something we'll have to change.
Okay. Well, that can be.
And there are plenty of
things you can mix and match, and you can say, oh, I like this, but that particular, because we obviously as a legal requirement we have to have the list of ingredients listed out. So that is something you can talk to our staff about. They can get you the list, and if there's something on the menu and it says, oh, well, I like this, but that bit's not vegan, why not just change it out with something else from another bit?
So they're adaptable, they can change things if you want. Now let's take a look at what some of you have been saying at home through Twitter. Now, not exactly your remit, but Jonathan Stewart wants to know, why is the College Road Library always roasting in the evenings? It can be so warm in there.
I actually walked through there yesterday and it was just baking.
It's like walking into the sun sometimes.
If it happens again, you know, as you're walking and there's the little office bit with all the people who sit in there, potentially, if it happens again, just pop out and just say it to them that it's absolutely boiling and that it needs to be turned down, because they might be able to actually turn it down.
Or Campus Life, because that's that front desk.
They're all there.
You know, they're the controllers.
Another one about the library, slightly more serious. What's being done to tackle, this is from Luke Emery, what's being done to tackle inappropriate behaviour in the library late at night? I've had numerous experiences where people have been asked to leave because they've been disruptive, only to come back within 20 minutes and carry on being disruptive. And obviously if you're trying to get some work done, that's the last thing you want.
So obviously you've got things like library rovers. So they're the students who work for the library. They wear the blue T-shirts, and they do carry on a mobile. So that there is a number. I mean, I've got it somewhere on my phone, but we can try and broadcast it later. But they have a number that you can text saying what area you're in, someone's being disruptive, and if it does get down to it, they can get kicked out. Now, in terms of being let back in, I guess they shouldn't really, because the campus life is right next, and if it goes through that procedure, then they'll have the student cards taken down. So I don't know. I get
Well, that's a fair point.
You know,
I'm sure
how do you stop someone sneaking in?
You give us that number in a moment, and we'll tweet that number out as well.
Yeah.
So people, if you're in the library as well, you can contact those, which is good. One now from Stephen McMahon. He wants to know, well, he says here, in a sweeping statement, Eclipse isn't working. How are you going to change this for second semester? Because if you don't like cheese, LRV doesn't cater for you. I think Steve would just want OMG played all the time.
Yeah, pretty much.
But Eclipse has been new this year. How's that been? Has that worked?
It's been a bit of a challenge, obviously. As I said, we were trying to put on things for different people. We were having comments from people about the genre of music that's played, and some people just don't want exactly. Obviously, we don't want to put the same night on a Wednesday and then on a Friday. So we want to try and diverse it. We wanted to try and stick with these like credible nights, proper club night genres, but then people were actually just requesting the songs to be played that were actually going to be played on a Wednesday. So there's a bit of a barrier. Do we then do we listen to the people and play what they want, but then it turns out to be the same night?
It's down to taste.
So the way we want to improve it, sorry, Tash, but we have met with student staff, and we're going to meet again in January with loads of students and basically do what we should have done back in the day, and just got a massive forum of students and be like, right, what do you want, and we'll plan it together, because it's hard, all of us sitting in the office trying to plan the nights out.
Amber Williams wants to know, why are the meal deals so expensive?
What meal
she thinks the meal deals are so expensive in the shops.
I was about to say, because we've got the meal deals now in Squeeze, and we've got the meal deals in the Union shops.
What, £2.49?
The shops.
£2.49 for a pasty, crisps, and a drink.
I was about to say there's £2.49 or £3.49. So you have the upgrade to kind of the more, I guess, not posher sandwiches, but like the nicer ones that I tend to go for. But it literally is. It's only 40. I guess it's only 49p more than what you'd pay in likes of like Tesco.
So the question is then, why is it 49p more? Is that something?
I think it's just because of the brands that
the Urban Eat thing, yeah.
So obviously when you're with our Union shops, we buy through like NUS and we buy through like their trading, so it's set like their prices, and they set all their prices at affordable prices for students. Yeah. So it's one of those where we're going by those prices, and to be fair, with the fact that one of the meal deals is actually at £2.49, so it's actually cheaper than what you would normally get, and it still includes a drink and crisps and a sandwich. This
questions we've got for you now were originally meant for Sue Reese, but as she isn't able to be here, we'll put them to you guys. So our first question is from Jacob Kate. He's studying sociology, criminology and deviance. Jacob?
My question is, why does ResLife add additional charges onto invoices?
So this question, he's obviously had an experience where this has happened to him or knows somebody who it's happened to. He said that it was something to do about a door being damaged, and then when they were charged for the door, there were lots of additional charges on there.
Admin fees, yeah.
Admin fees. So whenever
has always been done.
Yeah, so whenever you sign up your license agreement, sign in, and a lot of students I find don't read it. They are like, oh yeah, hold, yeah. It's tick box, actually, it's online. There's a lot of charges in there about being late, damages, administrations fees. If you've damaged something through being silly, they will charge you for those admin fees. And also dirty rooms, failing room inspections and kitchens.
So the message is then, read the T's and C's, because the reason why you're being charged is because of...
And plus, it's not just the university who do it. As soon as you move out of Horsham and you go into second and third years,
you'll get
the same thing anywhere, honestly.
It's always best to read the contracts.
Finally, we have a question from Daniel Smith, who studies games design. Daniel?
Where does our £9,000 go to? Where is it spent? And why is it not publicly available?
There we are then. I think what Daniel would like to see is a breakdown of where that £9,000 goes. Sam, you seem like you want to take this one?
I'm liking Daniel already. So Daniel is me 6 months ago when I was campaigning, and I wanted to know where my £9,000 goes. And now this year, I'm working with university's head of finance, Rob Feckett, and basically I've sort of asked them, and I want to be part of this project, about creating this infographic and a really nice readable one, because if you go on the university website, it's all there, but it's in like a 54-page document, and the same with the union. So we are working closer together now.
Now it's time for some questions that you've got in on Twitter and on the YouTube page. We're going to start with Naomi. Naomi wants to know, how is the union helping students get work experience? How is the union helping students get work experience? Some students really do struggle.
Okay, yeah, so loads of ways. So we actually employ about 250 student staff. They work in our bars, our venues. They
front of house.
Front of house. They also through live lab opportunities that Sweph was talking about earlier. There are graphic designers, web designers. They actually work in the union with us. And then
We've opened up one for finance this year as well.
Oh, okay.
On top of all this, our team leaders in our venues and shops all do management training, so they should be management trained by the time they leave. How we recruit now, we changed our recruitment process about a year ago to assessment centres. So these are about bringing students in and giving them a full experience, so you'll do some tasks, group work tasks and things like that, and that's really to build their sort of confidence in an interview process, but also build some skills and learn where it went right and where it went wrong. And we'll always chat to students that may have not passed the interview process on how they can improve for future.
So there's lots of opportunities then to get some work experience from the union. Steve wants to know, why don't the shops sell proper, it's all about the shops, why don't the shops sell proper fruit and vegetables? If they did, I'd be more likely to eat healthily, as it's accessible, and no small shops nearby are that reputable enough. So that's from Steve. He wants to know.
There should be fruit and veg.
Yeah, they do. Just by the till.
But I suppose people won't know what the two shops are different. So Lake Road's shop beside LRV's beside the halls, so we do more grocery in there.
Well, that's where we need to go.
Yeah, College Road's more your grab and go, get your sandwich while you're at lecture.
Well, Staff's uni netball team have tweeted. They have said, keep Wednesday afternoons free, aka KWAF. Came up at the Better Staffs Forum. Can they have an update? They want an update on that. Keep Wednesday afternoons free.
It's never changed.
Well, with that one, obviously, it's still the same university policy of
nothing past 1 p.m.
Well, pre 1 p.m. lectures, post 1 p.m. lectures are optional. We know that some of our students are literally here just for their academic interests, so some of the students will potentially want to go to their seminars and workshops and stuff on a Wednesday afternoon.
Things that you don't have to go into every week.
Exactly. Whereas with our sports students or society members or people who just want to do extracurricular activities, that post 1 p.m. then is optional, and those workshops and seminars and stuff can be then found on different days, or should be able to be found on different days, because the lecturers should be putting in these other sessions for them.
Ben Hamby wants to know, will the cost of parking at the university go down, and why is it, I bet you're sick of hearing about parking, and why is there a private company employed to oversee the car park and fine students such monumental amounts of money? So he's asking there, essentially, why is there a private company employed to oversee the car parking, and why is the price going up?
I've seen all eyes turned to me there.
So
this has been something that's been talked about for years now. Prices did go up, and the university is not going to move on prices.
Right.
We are one of the cheapest in the UK. We probably have some of the most, or the university with the most, quite a high amount of parking spaces compared to other universities. Okay. You look at city universities, they don't have anything. So we're very lucky to have car parking spaces. We do realise there's a space problem. Too many spaces are being filled up. The price has gone up. Still very cheap. I can see why the university's done that. We are working with them and taking students' voice forward on car parking. But honestly, there's been no real movement, and now that we're at the recruitment stage for a new director of estates, car parking's on hold until we get to a new director of estates recruited.
But when that's in place,
I mean, to answer the thing about the private company, the private company is probably because we don't have the staff to go out and check car parks. But also, to be fined as well, surely you have to do a bit of an error, like
you have to have been in the wrong.
I want to put some advice on the fines, because what's coming back is I'm getting students coming to me whenever they've got a court case or they've got a court
letter. Park in the wrong place.
Be like, oh, you haven't paid your fine. Now, if you're looking to appeal your fine, pay your fine straight away and then follow the appeal process.
Because it's so much easier to claim back.
Because that 30 quid soon hits £270. Yeah. You don't want that. So
no, you don't.
Pay your
fine. Make sure that you don't get a fine.
Yeah, there's that too.
Park in the right places.
Do that.
Bradley has mentioned seems quite frustrated. He said, why is Ember so understaffed on karaoke nights? It takes 40 minutes to get a drink, rather. Surely with more staff it would be getting more sales and then offset the cost of the people who would work there. People will enjoy their night more rather than standing around waiting for the 3 staff to serve them. Now I'm sure he's not blaming the staff at all. I'm sure he thinks the staff are doing the best thing they can. But when it's busy, could they do with having more staff on in Ember on karaoke night?
Well, can't really say that.
It's also having more stuff, but there's 3 tills, you know, and there's one that's cash only, so there's actually only 2 tills going on.
Jonathan wants to know, why do the venues do a poor job of cutting pizzas? If it isn't globally recognised that a standard pizza should be served cut already, then it's made worse. Apparently, it's made worse by no pizza cutter being offered to you. That's from Jonathan.
Sorry, Jonathan.
I guess the worst part about this as well is Sam had a pizza.
I actually couldn't agree with Jonathan more because I'm so sorry. Like,
did you have a pizza?
I had a pizza in birthday.
What are you supposed to do with
it? I got given a steak knife, and then I was like, I don't have the fork. So
you nicked my fork that I'd used my sweet potato fries.
So I was going. So
do you think we could get some more pizza cutters, or just have them cut before they go out?
Where will we take that? We'll put in a business case for new pizza cutters.
Put a business case for new pizza cutters.
Check out the trustee.
Anyway, why don't we have an over 25 nights once a month? There are a lot more mature students at the university. Of course, you wouldn't want to exclude younger people from taking part, but is that something you could probably look into? I mean, I'm sure she'll got a few more ideas as well.
Yeah,
I mean, we can definitely
sit down and talk to you.
It'd be nice to sit down with her and have a chat about like different events and stuff.
Because the thing is like what you said, we want to hear from students, and then what we can do from that is, if we potentially look at doing an over 25 night, then actually seeing if our over 25 students want a night, and it's something
would look like
exactly. It's trying to mould that night to what they would want it.
Thank you guys very much. That is all the questions we've had for you. Thank you for joining us here today. Anyway, that's all we've got time for you on the Pro. Thank you for you guys for turning up as well. This has been In the Spotlight. I've been Lewis Warner, and good night.